for hepatitis B, there's 250 micrograms of aluminum. So I just barely learned this fact a couple months ago. And then it says, based on the FDA recommendations and the CDC website, do not inject more than 18 micrograms into an infant's body. So the hepatitis B already is 10 times more than what's safe according to the CDC website. So that is a huge safety signal. And so I've been telling moms not to get the hepatitis B vaccine. So many moms have been refusing that shot that they had to have a meeting at work, and they said the nurses are giving biased information because all these moms are refusing the Hep B shot. I'm like, that's so beautiful to hear, because that means I've been telling all these nurses about the hepatitis B, and a lot of the nurses are even trying to get out of it now too, because they're uncomfortable giving it, because I've been pounding it into their brain.
When you know.
Yes, now you know. You're a nurse, you should know. And you should know what you're putting into your patient's body, especially a newborn, especially if it's not safe. And so a couple months ago, a family member complained and said that this nurse, Michelle, is giving biased information. She's giving misinformation. She's talking these mothers out of giving the hepatitis B vaccine. She told my sister that the only way your baby can get hepatitis B is if she has sex with someone who has hepatitis B. And so my boss called me into her office, and she told me all that right now, the complaint. And I said, yes, that's true. And I think my boss was like expecting me to say, oh, I didn't do that or something. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I said, every time a nurse gives an injection of hepatitis B vaccine, they are chemically assaulting that baby. They are giving 250 micrograms of aluminum when the FDA says do not give more than 18 micrograms. And my boss looked at me and she said, it's not about your beliefs, Michelle. It's about what's required of you per the institution.
No, but this is science.
I know.
FDA says 18. You're giving to 50. But that's science.
I know. I've said no. Every time a nurse gives that shot, they are chemically assaulting a baby. We were taught to do no harm. This is causing harm. And she said, again, I know you have your beliefs, Michelle, but you need to do what's required of you per the institution. Does that not sound like follow the orders? So I was so frustrated.
And she's what? She's
the manager of the entire women's floor.
Is she a doctor herself?
No, she's a nurse.
Okay.
But of the entire women's floor, the labor and delivery floor, the antepartum and postpartum, and all of women's health in there. She's the manager, the top one. And so she said, if you have questions, you can go to the head pediatrician and you can give her your information. I said, okay, I'll do that. I went to the head pediatrician and I told her exactly what I just told my boss. And she said, oh, no, the aluminum in those shots isn't the same one on that paper that you just showed me. It's not a neurotoxin. I'm sorry, but which aluminum is not a neurotoxin? I was so confused. But
why aluminum is needed in the first place?
Right.
It's a
heavy metal.
It's a preservative for the vaccine,
yes,
right?
Yeah, they say it's a preservative. So, but it's a heavy metal. It doesn't belong in your body. It's a heavy metal. You don't need it in your brain. And to give 10 times the safe dose to every newborn that doesn't need it, it's craziness. I don't even have the words for this madness.
So a parent can be investigated for not giving their child a vaccine, but a parent cannot be investigated if he's giving all the vaccine to his child, right? But this is not informed consent for that baby. Yeah. Because a baby is an individual. Yes, he's like 2 days old or 2 months, 2 years old. Yeah. A baby cannot make a decision, but it will affect his or her life in the future.
Exactly. And if you were to spoon feed that amount of aluminum into a baby's mouth, you would go to jail for poisoning your baby.
For 250 micrograms.
Yes.
So you can't eat it, but you can inject it.
Yes, that's what they do.
Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It will never make sense.